Hey fangirls.
Women in refrigerators, and whether or not we should shut the door on them.
We're drinking some peppermint tea.
Okay, so I'm gonna read to you a little bit about Alex DeWitt, the comic book character for whom the trope Women in Refrigerators was named. This is her Wikipedia entry. Alexandra DeWitt is a fictional character in the DC Comics universe. She's the girlfriend of Kyle Rayner. She is best known, however, as the murder victim whose manner of disposal led Gail Simone to coin the phrase women in refrigerators. I think the problem is that she's best known as a murder victim.
So what we're talking about here is when a woman dies, is killed at the beginning of a story. And in the case of Alex, it's a woman we know almost nothing about. She's just a corpse.
Yeah, and we don't remember her, and she's never revisited, and we had to even look up her name.
It's always to give the main character, who's usually a guy, either an emotional background, so a background of trauma, say like in Finding Nemo, Marlin's wife is eaten by sharks at the beginning of the movie. We understand why Marlin is the way he is, why he's so overprotective. Or as a story catalyst, something like a revenge movie where a woman is killed, raped, murdered right off the bat, and the guy is so mad about it, like in Braveheart, that he finally rejoins the fight.
The plain fact is, the bodies of these women have been piling up to the point where when a movie or a story starts out with the death of a woman, it's hard for a movie to earn that trust back. Yeah.
Like, it's honestly, for me, lazy storytelling, because it's a way that you're trying to get the audience emotionally invested in this character and raise the stakes for them and what's happening to them by making another human being disposable and also not really creating a second character.
And that other human being is specifically a woman.
It's always a woman. Lexi Alexander has a really great quote about this. I think it was she that said, "It seems to me like when you want to start a female character's journey, you hurt her. And when you really want to start a male character's journey, you hurt a woman." And that's messed up.
That is messed up, because the fact is that there are no disposable humans. Every woman who dies in real life has a story, is a person, is the subject of her own sentence. And the fact that that's not reflected in our media is a problem.
It's saying some of us are disposable.
I got into a conversation on Twitter about, well, is it ever okay to kill a woman? Which is like my least favorite
way to phrase that, for sure.
argument. Because, yes.
What are examples that actually do work? For me, it's Up. Ellie dies at the beginning of Up after 10 minutes.
She dies after 10 minutes of screen time, but it does not feel like 10 minutes of story, because those 10 minutes are spent painstakingly telling you about her life.
And the whole story for Carl is grieving his wife's death. Another movie that kills someone at the very beginning to give a character some background is Pacific Rim. Now, you may be scratching your head. A woman dies in the beginning. It's not a woman!
Like, obviously, one of the big differences about this death is that he's a dude. But another big difference is that his death is a heroic sacrifice. It was his choice to join the Jaeger Corps. It's a fight in which anyone who joins up knows that they could die. He gets a hero's death. And that's one thing that can sort of save a woman from the refrigerator if she's gonna die. One of the things I always say about The Killing Joke, in which the Joker shoots Barbara Gordon, is it takes a tiny tweak to sort of save that story from being one of the worst, most heinous examples of fridging of all time. And that is to have Barbara Gordon step in front of the gun that's aimed at her father, to heroically sacrifice herself
to make a choice.
To make a choice, to give her some agency. Because Yancey gets that, because he's a dude, and women so rarely, they're just passive victims when they die.
Think about the opening scenes of SVU. Like, that's just like body after body after body after body.
And yes, there is a disproportionate amount of violence in the world perpetrated against women. It's good that the media reflect it, but it's also important to reflect the complexity of what that actually means, as opposed to almost fetishizing it, sexualizing it, dismissing it, making it so much a part of the background that we aren't even bothered by it anymore in real life.
It just doesn't work because we don't know who these characters are. I'm not going to feel the way that the main character feels when he's grieving them because I never knew her.
Yeah,
Because there's so many of them.
And
it's not getting a lot better.
Yeah, last year we had Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, and though that movie has a fantastic character in Elsa Faust, you still start the movie with a woman in a refrigerator for no reason, just to show us that the bad guy is bad. We don't need to be shown that the bad guy is bad, really, not at the expense of a nameless, plotless woman.
Find something worse.
The villain, if you were doing your job right, is going to reveal themselves to be a villain throughout the course of the film. You don't have to start out with a dead female body to get us on the right page. We'll get there. You could have made her an accomplice. If you make her an accomplice, you don't have to kill her, and you give her agency in the fact that she joined up with the bad guy.
Okay, let's reelect Supply with an Army women who've been fridged.
I think we should elect as the leader Alex DeWitt, just
Alex
because
DeWitt.
she's the champion.
Yeah, she's become the torchbearer. I would like an army of the victims of the Special Crimes Unit.
Any
Any procedural
that trades on
that opens on like a
death
dead
of women.
woman's corpse. The army of them will rise up.
So one of the things we do know about the woman at the beginning of Mission Impossible Rogue Nation is that whether through her own interest or her training for her cover, she knows a lot about music.
Music blog.
I think we should
It is
read
law.
her music blog. So there we go.
Cheers.